right.
Yeah.
We'll call to order the November 14th meeting of the Littleton Park and Recreation Commission. So I guess first thing is to welcome Peter Church to the Park and Rec Commission.
Thanks. Welcome. Glad to be here.
And then commissioner updates. Anything, Scott?
I don't have anything at the moment.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Going back to some of our old business, we did have some discussions ongoing with the select board about an MOA and decided to put that off until the new town administrator came on board.
Which I guess they selected last night.
They selected somebody and are starting negotiations, so hopefully we'll have a new town administrator soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to that and see where we go. And then I guess the tennis court funding went through CPA at town meeting. Good.
Yep.
About it. Anybody else? Anybody?
Anything you want to share?
Just, I mean, a little about myself. I've been in town for 20 plus years. I have 3 kids, who've all done park and rec things over the years, a couple lifeguards. And I work for the state in park and recreation world. So Department of Conservation and Recreation. So that's where my interest lies.
All right. So we had what, a couple of sets of minutes?
Just the one, because we were not able to meet in October. So the September ones are the only ones we have right now.
Anybody have any concerns with the September minutes? For a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the September 12th Park Commission meeting.
The roll call since we have Kate online. Kate?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Peter?
Haven't reviewed them, but I'll say yes.
I'll say yes as well.
Right.
All right. And if we want to wait for Kevin to try and start that, the discussion around the survey.
Well, I wasn't going to go into full, like, let's crack it out and
Okay.
go through everything.
Then
I'm just going to give an update on it. And as a reminder, that part of the contract was for Robert from ETC to do a presentation to boards in town. So I do want to send out a request to the select board. I think I had suggested in the past ParkComm, so that's something we can discuss if that's something you think that we should also have on board. And then obviously the Park and Rec Commission to have Robert come in and do his presentation about the results that we got. And obviously this is not a checklist. You have to purchase all these things. Let's go. It has to be done by the end of the year, by no means, but it's a, I think it's important for the select board and ParkComm to hear that, because this is statistically valid, which means that, you know, we got over our 300 responses back, which we needed to be able to get to that 95 to 97% accuracy rate. So that means that the responses that we have received would be 95 to 97% accurate for what the town of Littleton would want to see within the community. So it's definitely a very important report for those boards specifically to hear that. So,
Probably also invite the open space.
sure, absolutely.
Not that we've been able to,
That's
Have a
a
meeting,
difficult, yeah, time, so.
but invite them anyway.
Means going through.
I think that would be a good idea.
Thanks, Kate. Okay, so, just to kind of go through this, and some of this is from October up till now too, so. We did meet the target on, October 14th. And they needed to be able to go through and validate all of that, to be able to make sure that there was only one entry per household, that they were all Littleton residents, and just clarify all those components. So they've done that. Obviously, they've tabulated all of the data, and have created a report that we did get back that I've sent out to all of the park commissioners, park and rec commissioners. Have to get used to saying that. What I would like you to do is, if you have not had a chance to review it, and if there's any, I guess I shouldn't put feedback, because there's not really feedback. It's more of if you have questions, or if you've seen any like grammatical errors or anything like that, just give me a heads up so I can get that back to Robert so they can make those changes. And then the last piece, which I'll catch Kevin up when he's able to get here, but having a memo from Kevin to those specific boards, inviting them to come to a meeting, I think would be an important component of moving forward with the completion of this project. So, yeah, that is the update on it. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't know if I got the email. Did you send it via email?
Yes, okay, I will double check them.
Great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I got what you're talking about either, but
Really? You
it's,
got it?
po-
Okay,
it's possible I've just overlooked it.
okay, I'll
Same.
no, that's okay, so I'll make sure that I send that out, first thing. I can probably do that as soon as I get back home, yeah. All right, excellent. Anything else? Okay, moving on. All right, so update on the open space and recreation plan. So we, as Saul and Kate have sort of giggled about, we have been trying to set up a meeting with the group for the last couple of weeks and just have not been able to get a quorum. I'm not sure what's magical about this time of year, but I think it's just going to get more challenging as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So hopefully we can find a time where everybody will be able to come and sit down, because obviously we need to wrap this project up by the end of December is what we're looking for. So Andrew Samarco and I, we met online with Johnson and Blinker and discuss an amended timeline. So what you see on here are their suggestions as far as where we will be at with our documents and the sections of that open space and recreation plan. And then that will give us December to go through and be able to edit it so that we can be able to send it into DCR by the end of December or the beginning of January. I know Amy Green from Conservation would like to be able to put in a grant application. So the requirement for one of the things for her to be able to check that box off was that we would have this on file with DCR. So that is where we're at currently. So let's see, what else was there? Also, as we did before, we'll also need to get a letter of approval once we've actually gone through and edited everything. We have a final draft. So again, that would probably come from Kevin or you, Saul, that says, you know, we accept this document, approve it.
So is that Park and Recreation Commission, or is that
Yeah.
the open space, or it doesn't seem like,
What do you mean?
well, I mean, we can accept it for us, but it seems like it's a larger body that should be accepting. the
It
report.
is, so
Okay.
we are just of one board,
Okay.
we would have to
So
do that.
all the
Yeah,
boards.
so we would
Okay.
expect that from conservation, from Clean Lakes, like
Gotcha. Okay.
everybody that's been involved, AgCom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would want to do the same thing, just, I mean, it's more of that, I guess just understanding that all of these boards have been a part of this and they're accepting of it, and they would like this to be representative of what our next 7 years are.
I was on the open space committee for a couple iterations. It's good to get letters.
Yeah.
To submit to PCS.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Anything else? All right. So as soon as I know what a meeting is, I will let you and I will let Kate know. And hopefully we'll be able to get that moving. That's really important to finish that up. All right. So Tim just wanted me to throw this on here in case you had any other questions, or I don't know if you wanted to go over your game plan for, I think it was like this upcoming week.
We were pretty much all wrapped up. Everything's winterized, all the water's off. We just gotta get a couple boats moved around. Mainly we just need the 2 bodies down there to ship some of those news to the lower side center. But other than that, we're all buttoned up. Everything's away. Docks are done. Everything's put to bed. So. And all of our porta potties around town are picked up as well. Not that that's Long Lake specific, but they all got picked up last week. So we're pretty much all in a state of winterization for everything that we have in the summer and shoulder seasons. So
They're still at Castle.
yes, by design, they'll
Yes.
pull them before the first.
Right. Yeah. We know, well, people use them still into the winter, but we're not keeping porta potties back there into the winter. Not happening. So,
I mean, how was the summer traffic activities?
So with the exception of the fact that it rained almost every Saturday except for 2, we saw a pretty typical summer. Memberships were right around where we were. We had a pretty significant hit that we took, probably about a 20 to 30% hit on day passes because of the rainy weekends.
Yeah.
So we missed our number by a little bit. But as far as, things go, sailing, we had a really great summer with sailing. The, new boats worked out well. That program was excellent. Camp Tea at the beach, all of the programming that we run, everything went off without a hitch. Other than our few things that we've already discussed, it was a, pretty typical summer and everything went really well, and just kind of working through, what we need to get ready for next year and just kind of continually to improve what we have down there.
Good.
Yep.
That was water quality testing. We in our state parks, we were
Yeah, so
hit hard on them.
we're very fortunate that, in my time here, which is, this was the completion of my 6th summer. We have only had two times that we were actually shut down for poor test, and both of them ended up coming back as false positives. So we were shut down for 3 days this year. We got a wildly high number that came back to us, and it was retested, and it came back at, I believe that week it came back at like a 7 was the retest number. So fortunately our lake does do pretty well. We previously 2 summers ago we had a blue-green algae outbreak where we were shut down for a couple days, but as far as water quality, we typically do pretty well. Even with this super rainy summer, we were able to maintain in the single digits. I believe it was 3 weeks that we had that we were actually, in the teens. 1 week that we were in the 20s, but other than that, we never exceeded anything that was close to the acceptable levels.
And they do, because we have the beta load limit or permit through Board of Health. So they only do the water quality testing at the beginning of the season and then every week until Labor Day. Yeah, Labor Day. So I don't think they continue to do it throughout.
No, so they'll pull the last
Year.
sample of Labor Day Monday.
Yeah.
And then that's it for the year. And then I'll submit the plan for just the baiting permit for next year sometime in February, March, whenever I get the email from Kayleen, and at which point that'll execute once we have the permit, it'll execute the start date that we give them based on what you guys vote on of the season.
So we're gonna be timely about it. So it's great.
I do, I know one of the things that I think we should look into, Alicia had mentioned it the other day, just in our conversation, but in kind of wrap up with this. You know, we've talked about the docks and we've talked about certain things that need to be done, but I know that there was a significant give back this year to the Clean Lakes Committee, back to the general fund, at town meeting. And, you know, one thing that we were able to kind of get on the docket was we finally fixed the, rainwater mitigation that was over on the side of the boat ramp, the rain swale. No one's touched the frog pond, and we brought it up multiple times. That was part of the original stormwater mitigation plan. You know, that whole entire area is completely overgrown. Pavers are, you know, starting to get popped out. It's kind of just one of those areas now that's inaccessible when there was originally docks put in there and pavers and benches. So, you know, I think that that's something that looking forward, that just like we did the cleanup of the rain garden over by the boat ramp side, that we should really approach Clean Lakes and figure out what we're doing with that frog pond area. Cause it's one of those areas that people talk about, and then there's never any action on it. And it's a significant part of
That's
the,
a mini park.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we never actually got the pavers cleaned out either.
Right.
So we were supposed to do that too. But
So just something that we should really kind of look into, especially, you know, if they're, what was it, like $9,000 went back?
no, I think it was like 6,000.
So anyway, it was a
Yeah.
significant amount that should be used on projects like that if it's
Yeah.
available, because that's exactly what all of those things are put in place for.
I know one of the things that's come up, and you may have some suggestion, or maybe you don't, I don't know. We've had a lot of people ask about updates to the boat ramp, which is a state boat ramp.
Yep.
So how would you go about starting the process? Is there a specific person to reach out to?
I can get a name. I
Okay.
can, yeah, get contact information.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's served us really well. It's doing fine, but there's definitely, I mean, could use some attention on a few things, but
It's also, I don't know if it's the change in water level or the way it
Yeah.
was originally designed, but it's not steep enough to actually float most boats off a trailer.
yeah. If it is the water level that changed.
I pushed
Yeah.
my kayak out.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, certainly, you know, with a sailboat or fishing boat you're gonna be working hard or putting your car
in there.
deep in
Yeah.
to get past the end of it, to get deep enough.
Well, I was thinking about that. Yep. Okay. All right, so last time we were supposed to talk about capital improvement, and we talked about it the previous in September, but so the capital improvement budget was slated to be turned in October. So having conversations with Saul, Kevin, and so ultimately we decided that for this year, for this upcoming year, fiscal year 25, that these were the 4 different projects that we were going to put forth for capital improvement projects. So the resurfacing of the basketball courts, that's something that's going to be a #1 priority. It's been on the capital list since 2022, and realistically, we really should have resurfaced it last year. So we really do need to move forward with getting that done this year. The 250,000 to look at a new field creation, and we talked about this in the document that goes to the select board and FinCom. The concept behind this is either we're going to create a new field, or we're going to have the conversation with the public schools, like water, and see what we need to do to address reorganization of the spaces that we already have. I know throughout the years, Tim has shared some really great ideas of what we should be looking at as far as orientations for some of the different fields. But either way, having an actual design and a game plan to move forward so that we can start making some headway on this. So that is going to be requested. The additional or the rest of the part of completing the dock transfer. So back in 2019, we purchased a whole lot of the can dock supplies. And that allowed us to create that new sailing dock that we have that's right off of the boat ramp. You can moor, well, I guess you're not mooring the boats if they're out of the water. But there's parking spots, if you will, for all of those sailboats on the dock. And it's just been a spectacular product to have. So we would like to replace the rest of the dock system that we have there with that. So that's the 42,436.
Is that the part closest to the beach?
So in the past, we had one that went straight down the middle.
Okay, so this is
And-
the other, not in sailing area.
It would not be, yeah, in addition to that, this is a different area.
Yeah, and I think the one thing, it's, not just the sailing dock, we get that, so it has access to tie up boats and canoes and for the public boat ramp as well.
Oh, for sure,
Because
yeah.
prior to that, there was nothing that existed. There was just those three little parts that we used for the sailing.
Right.
So that was, why, one of the things that we did was we made the original purchase and we said, okay, we're gonna put all of our eggs in one basket. We're gonna make this really good for the public boat ramp as well. But to that detriment, we never had the opportunity to replace the center dock that we had down the swimming area.
Yeah.
So that would just be kind of why this is like the finalization of that project.
And the nice piece about having that specific section of dock is that it allows there to be that physical, tangible difference between having zone 1 and zone 2. It also allows the lifeguards a quicker entry to the water because now they can run down and, go the directions that whatever direction they need to go. So there's a lot of positives to being able to install that if we're able to get that. And then the last piece, we'll see if this is still necessary or not. So this is the pickleball court. So this would be 34,000 for a design at the 36 King Street site. The reason I say we'll see if this is still necessary, because at town meeting, there was money appropriated to the renovation of that building. So I don't know if this will be included with that or if it will not. But I wanted to have this in there in case for some reason it was not. So yeah, that's to be determined. We shall see. So the total amount that's being requested for capital this year would be $381,603.
So would the pickleball site be where between the tennis courts and the new town building?
No, so
Are you familiar with Indian Hill? Have you
Yeah,
been behind them?
yeah.
So if you
there's
come
like-
around the building and the parking lot kind of goes to the left,
Yep,
it's on that where that back of that parking lot ends.
okay,
So kind of where the school hill slopes down, parking lot ends on the left and it opens up into the more of the parking area. Be
okay,
that adjacent to that.
gotcha.
section. So the opposite side of the parking lot of the tennis courts.
Okay.
Tennis courts are here, pickleball would be.
I was trying to get them to like zoom in, but so we had done the design, just kind of like throwing things together before. So if you are looking at, Indian Hill, like, let's say you're actually on the road looking at the building. There's a parking lot, the backhand corner would actually be a good place to be able to put, what do we say, 4 courts we could be able to get there, 1, 2, 3, yeah. And still be able to have enough space for the parking. So that was definitely an area that we had looked at potentially developing that. Yeah. Hello.
Hi,
How's it
sorry.
going?
Good. It was a soccer awards night at the high school.
Do we win any awards?
Teddy?
No, Teddy got 9, I got
No,
9.
that's all.
I know why I won. Didn't you get best rookie? No, I know. I didn't get best parent.
Father of the year sideline award, no?
Nothing.
Oh.
Not going back. I think it's fixed.
And then do you have, we're gonna talk about it now, but the sort of the next couple of years also, or?
I do, yeah. So all of that it's in that document. I just figured since this is the only stuff that's really gonna get talked about this year. But the email that I sent, it also has that, Excel document in there. So you can see for the next, so for, what does it go to?
It's 10 years, right?
Yeah, it should be 10 years out. So all the way through, it'll say every year what amount we would end up requesting. Yep. Okay. Mr. Mahalski.
All right, so special events are still going strong. We had our Oktoberfest. I know a couple of you were able to actually get there. Another wonderful event. So it was at the old IBM site, and Selectman DeCoste was able to help us kind of do a quick pivot since Bay Park was underwater from the vast amounts of rain that we got leading up to the event. It was very well received. People just were ecstatic about the location and the amount of parking and things like that. So as we talk about capital and things and improvements, creating a space that does belong to the town that can, harbor events, not just for us, but, other entities who want to do things like this is definitely something that as we start to design and start to think about what those things look like, this is something that, is definitely a need for us. Bay Park and the other places that we have don't really serve the purposes that we were able to do here. As far as the event, we saw probably close to 1,500 to 2,000 people pass throughout the day. Definitely high visibility coming off the street. A lot of people were just ducking in to figure out what's going on. So it was really good. The entire Park and Rec team and all of the senior volunteers and everybody who helped us out did an absolutely amazing job. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for, helping us do it. And it seemed like everybody had a really good time. It was a great family event. There was a lot for the kids to do. The bounce houses and everything were a huge success. We had the most amount of vendors and crafters that we've ever had at one of these events, which was really awesome. A lot of people are starting to kind of hear about what we're doing and coming here, and it just makes all the community events that much better. So thank you everybody for that. Then we had trunk or treat just about a month later. Actually a couple weeks shy of a month later. And we're finally able to pull this one off at Alumni Field where we've been trying to do it for years. So for the past 2 years, we've been bumped from the spot because the rain has forced state level soccer games onto Alumni Field on Friday night. And this year it happened. It all came together finally. It was very well lit, which has been our biggest problem with trunk or treat. The vendors and the trunk donations were absolutely incredible. We had 22 total trunk participants, and thank you to everybody for doing that and donating the candy and the time to decorate their cars. Our highway department just blew the doors off the entire thing. Steve Whitten and his team had 4 pieces of equipment, all sorts of lights and skeletons and dragons, and it was really, really cool.
And see the very top one, the red wacky inflatable tube man. They had it attached to the back of the truck, so they drove down the street with the thing going. It was great. It was so good.
Thank you to Littleton PD and Littleton Fire Department, and the Groton Public House was our food, very well received. Those guys did a great job. They're excited to come back to the next event. It's listen, most people tell us they're going to have this many people, but we don't believe it. And he's I could have used 4 extra people tonight. So it was pretty awesome. probably our best popular growing event. Definitely saw about the same amount of people, 1,500 to 2,000 people throughout the course of the 2 hours. The parade was really great and everybody was really good. There's a picture of our crew. They did Barbie. Yeah. So thank you all who did show up.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing's on the docket. We have Holiday Helpers in full swing. For those of you who are just joining us, Holiday Helpers is our gift giving program. So Alicia has families who have applied to the program. Part of what we do is we try to do some sort of fundraising event to help drive the gifts. Typically, we end up somewhere in the range of $10,000 to $12,000 worth of gifts that we end up purchasing for the program. What's that?
Or, yeah, well, purchasing
Correct.
through us, yes. Sorry.
So that's what we end up bearing, and that comes in through the donations and everything else that we do. We end up scrambling at the last week for all the tickets that aren't picked up. That's kind of the burden that monetary burden that we end up looking at. So as part of that, we used to do a 5K, which was declining in popularity, never really worked. We switched over to a bowl-a-thon, which was popular, but not really everybody's thing. So this year we are going to try to do a trivia night. So what it's going to be is it will be Friday, December 8th at Tavern in the Square. We are going to partner it with the Dining for a Cause. So anybody who mentions to their server that they're there for Dining for a Cause, a portion of their meal will be donated to the cause, which is Holiday Helpers. We will also be doing the trivia night. So trivia will be $30 per person, or $200 for a team of up to 10 people. And we will have somebody coming in to run the trivia for us. We have Jack Reed coming in with his band to do some live music. And we're hoping that we can get some businesses to do some raffles and some giveaways on our behalf to get some money put together. So you're currently looking for some help with that. Obviously, we can't solicit as our partner rec people, and we haven't gotten our friends of set up yet. Peter, if you're looking for something to do, we need to set up a friends of. But if you know anybody or could spread the word, that would be awesome. We are looking for especially some baskets that might be able to be re-gifted as Christmas presents. So some good stuff in there that people actually want to bid on and buy and do stuff. But like I said, we can't be in that business. So if you guys can spread the word on that, that would be wonderful. And then what we have just on the docket before we start pushing everything else out for the next year is our Fire and Ice. So that's going to take place end of January, early February. Date to be determined. We try to look at the weather forecast as we get a little closer to make sure that we are ice available. For those of you who haven't been there, it's kind of like Oktoberfest, but in the winter. We change it up. We have ice carvers. We have beverages there. We do, last rendition that we did of this, we had the ice rink that we brought in. We had some skaters come in. So all sorts of fun stuff for the families geared towards Fire and Ice. We pray for snow so that the sledding hill's open. So really, this is one of those weather dependent events that we really try to make happen if we can. So more to come on that.
Is Sasha still around?
I don't know. The last time I spoke to her, she was having another kid. So
Okay.
and then we didn't end up doing it because of weather.
Okay.
Did you
So any questions about the special events? Kate, is that you?
It is me. Tim, did you say end of January, beginning of February time?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
we try to fit it in somewhere between Martin Luther King and February vacation.
Okay. And that's usually a Saturday, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions?
The only other thing that we missed on here is I said I would throw this out there. So the town's offering a free COVID-19 and flu vaccination clinic on Monday, November 20th, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Town Hall and Room 103. You do have to sign up, so you can call the number that is on the screen and must do so before the actual event day. So if that is something that you would like to do, you can register for that ahead of time and get all that stuff taken care of before the holidays. So yeah. All right. Oh, and we'll go back one more. It's being tricky tonight. So the other thing is that we do actually have the holiday helpers gift tags up. I'm still in the process of processing some of the families. Yesterday was our last day for families to apply for the program. But we had a lot of people this year that actually signed up early and had time, which has been really great. Kelsey came up with this great idea of doing a registry. So the QR code that's up there will take you to Amazon registry site where the items that the kids have asked for, you can just directly purchase them right there, and then they'll come straight to our office. So it's a lot easier if you want to do it that way, or you're welcome to do the old school way and come in and pick through all the different tags that we have in the office and make some choices. Or you can always give that donation to the Holiday Helpers Fund. So yes, on the last weekend before the gift pickup, we can go out and buy those last minute items and make sure that the kids and the families get all the things that they need. So, okay.
It looks like some of those tags have multiple things. So just asking how that works. Is it like I just did the QR code and I'm on Amazon and I'm looking, it looks super cool. So kudos. But my question is, if I were to click on, say, like K1, for example, there's 4 items that show up, 0 purchased. So if somebody were to purchase that, I take it would show 3 items are still wanted for that tag.
You got it. Yeah, okay. So some of those items, like if it was socks or underwear or something like that, if they were the same size, then we probably put in like the same. So there's 2 different kids that need it, or in that case, 4 different kids that need it. What?
So it's like you're K1.
Yeah, I know.
And I would be K2, but
yeah,
those all go to the same person. It's just the way it stacks them is that person needs those. That's their 3. Yes, Kate, you're looking at it correctly. And as they're taken, they will go, this is bought. Cool. Think of it as like think of it like a baby registry, but there's like 100 babies in that registry.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then it would automatically come off so that somebody would see, like if I bought, say I'm looking at a different number, one of the 2, and then it would just show there's 1 item still needs to be purchased.
Correct.
Yes, okay. You got it.
Cool. Nice.
Okay. Good question. Thank you. So, come on. There we go. All right. So, director's report. So we'll go through these. So this is just the update on town meeting in case you were not able to be there. So all of the articles that had anything to do with our department, they were all approved, which is great. So there was 400,000 that was put into the renovation for 36 King, and that's to develop to develop design and go through that whole process to make sure that we can get the items, the needs for that building assessed and fixed so that it's ready to be used by the public. They did in Article 8, 4 million was transferred from the overlay reserve into the capital stabilization fund. And it was listed as, some of these funds could potentially be used for that renovation. I don't think I know the intent is not for the whole 4 million. I think that was kind of a misunderstanding at town meeting. Yes, so there's funds from this transfer that could be used towards helping with that renovation. Article 9, 400,000 was transferred into from the overlay I put into, from the overlay reserve into CPA for the recreation reserve. So that amount would go towards directly paying for the high school tennis courts rebuild. And then in Article 10, 334,000 was approved to be borrowed by the treasurer to complete that total request of the 734,000 needed to do the high school tennis courts. So we do have the funding to move forward with that. Next steps with that would be getting into the process of the RFP, so we can get that out and find someone to complete that design and finish the project. So that's the next place we need to go. Article 12, we asked for the revolving cap to be increased from 1.1 million to 1.3. So that was completed. And then the reference that I've made to all of you as the Park and Recreation Commissioners. So there was an unused Playground and Recreation Commission, so that was deleted. And then Recreation was added into the Park Commission title. So now you are all referred to as the Board of Park and Recreation Commissioners. So that is the official title of y'all.
Our raises will be included in the additional.
Yeah.
You're getting double.
Yeah, I'm in. Very happy.
And 2 bonuses.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just the update from town meeting. Any questions?
It was a long one.
What's that? It was no, honestly, in comparison to ones we've had, like I've been there 1:30 in the morning sometimes.
Only if you stay for the counting of the ballots.
Yeah, man. Well, usually I get suckered into helping out.
Oh,
with
well, there's
stuff.
that,
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now,
Clicker's coming next time, so maybe.
I'm so excited about the clickers. It's gonna be great. All right, so the memorial bench for Robert Woodbine was installed on October 3rd. So this is a picture of its final location. They did a tremendous job putting that in. You know, they were there all morning, and so I give them credit. It looks great. They did a really great job. So yeah, it's a wonderful addition to Bay Park. So if you guys get a chance to go out and see it, take a look and check it out. I'm throwing a little guilt in here. So we do have to still do evaluation, Kevin.
Yeah, we do. Yes. I can't get that form. I tried it the other day. The form that I needed sent to me again. or
I
something.
will send
Yeah,
you all the things you need. Okay.
Okay.
Or we might have to sit down and just do it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a very lovely office.
What's
I-
that?
So
Right.
we have a very lovely
very
office.
lovely
You're welcome
office.
whenever you want.
I can go do something else if you guys want to hang out in my.
Yeah, I don't know. There is something wrong with that form, I think, because
Really?
I couldn't get it to work either.
No kidding.
Yep.
You guys can have my office, it's 2 doors, soundproof windows.
No, Kaz is next to.
Yeah.
It's not that soundproof.
We need the cone of silence so that we can have a top secret discussion.
Whatever. All right, so I'll send you both over some. I'll see if I can, what's the issue? It's just not opening or?
There's no way to
There's no live fields, right?
enter the data, right?
The fields aren't live, so like, there's no way to put anything in it.
Okay. Yeah, that's really weird.
Listen, it could be my technical capabilities. It may not
But
be
I
happy.
had the same problem, so.
So if you both have the same problem, then there's definitely a problem. So I will, yeah, I'll send you another form. Okay. But I would appreciate it if you do it before the end of the month. Doable?
Doable.
Doable?
Doable?
Oh, yeah,
Doable.
one way or the other,
Yes.
it will be done.
All right,
By December 1st, it'll be done.
thanks, guys.
One way or the other.
All right. So Ken has been gone for a little while. It's crazy to think about that. It's very sad. So Ken, who was our program coordinator, he did put in his notice. He received a job offer, frankly, I would have a hard time turning down, to be quite honest. And so he put in his notice, and his last day was on October 21st. So aloha, Ken, from Hawaii. He is in Hawaii now. So we are in the process of needing to be able to fill that vacancy that Ken was in. So yeah. So
How long was he in that role?
not long. So I know you just
7 months and change.
yeah.
Okay, okay. I feel like, yes, that makes sense then.
Yeah. So yeah, we're sad to lose him. I mean, he was a great help at the beach this summer and did a really great job. But like I said, some things you just can't say no to. So I get that. All right. So that brings us on to our new business. So what we've discussed doing is we have some internal interest in the program coordinator position. So we would be suggesting that we post the program coordinator position internally for 2 weeks. And at that point, we would be able to entertain any applications that would come forward and be able to hire someone relatively quickly. So our options with that are we can create the preliminary screening committee, knowing there's not going to be probably a lot of people that we're going to be interviewing for this role. You also have the opportunity you could approve me as the hiring authority for just this role only, since typically all full-time positions you are the hiring authority for that. And that's acceptable. We've done that before in other positions. But yeah.
So
I don't want to go too deep into it.
yeah, it would be if we do the option 2 there, it would be for internal and external candidates.
Only internal.
Only internal.
So if for some reason the internal would not work out, then we would go through the process normally where we would have to post it.
Preliminary and all that stuff.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns?
So it is an option to just post it internal.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And it would be for any town employee or just?
It would be open to town. So yep, if anybody in a town employee would like to apply for it, they could. Yep. Absolutely.
At which point, yes, then if we have multiple candidates, we need to have some sort of committee and we would go through the interview process and.
Okay, so if we had we had 3 internal candidates, then we'd have to do a preliminary screening and all that stuff. Or would that just be up to whoever we approve as the hiring authority?
At that point, it really depends on the qualifications, right?
I would say qualifications, but I mean, to pass the litmus test, I
Yes.
would say our best due diligence at that point would be to come back and say, we had X number of candidates and we should create the screening committee and we should go through the proper channels. So we have the documentation that says we did.
True.
Everything
Yeah,
Yes,
properly.
yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would say with that in mind, we should just pick the screening committee now. If there's only one candidate, we just review the candidate and
Yeah,
make a
do
decision,
that.
but at least we're prepared and we're not waiting for the next meeting and the next meeting.
Right. Absolutely.
And just, I mean, I think we can safely say this, the candidate who has expressed interest internally, we interviewed twice before the position and they've been our runner.
Okay.
So at this point, it would be, we've done the due diligence on this person.
Right.
For
Absolutely.
strictly math, they just haven't been the top person.
Yeah.
Do we need two commissioners on the committee would be how many? One and then you two guys, or what's been past?
So
practice?
typically what we have done is typically it's been myself and Tim and one of the park commissioners. However, you can,
Last time nobody was available, so you guys appointed Kaz as the third.
yeah,
That was a mistake.
Yep.
you didn't have to be in the interviews with them.
Huh?
I said you didn't have to be in the interviews with them. I'm just kidding.
But
It was
yes,
great.
it has been done both ways.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it's your purview on that completely. So if you're thinking about, I'm gonna throw that up there. Cause there is specific language that has to be used. Thanks, Dave.
Wait, so this is for,
If you wanna do the preliminary screening committee,
yeah,
you would have to create
this is the
one.
motion to create one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anybody need more?
I can make this motion if we're ready to do that.
All right. Go for it.
All right, so, I assume I entered my name there.
Yes, please.
So- Kate Jacobson proposes that the PSC conduct the screening process in executive session because having the candidate selection discussion in open session will be detrimental to the public body's ability to attract qualified applicants for the position of program coordinator.
I will second that.
Okay, moved and seconded, do roll call. Kate,
Yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
myself, yes, also.
Excellent.
Who you nominating?
Yeah, now you have to figure your number.
It's not here.
Kate was on the last one.
Ah, darn it.
I was on the one before.
New guy.
no, I don't think I was on, I
Or
wasn't on
not, who was on the
Ken's.
last one? Or was it?
It was Kaz.
It was Kaz.
It was Kaz.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
was,
Just
so I was on the one before, otherwise it's,
Fred was on the one before that.
so Kate, is that,
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to go do an interview or whatever you need of me, yeah.
Okay,
Do we have to make a do we have to?
yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Nominate all three as the,
Okay, so I make a motion to nominate Alicia, Tim, and Kate to the preliminary screening committee for the program coordinator position.
I'll second.
all right, roll call vote. Kate,
Yes,
Peter,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
let me yes.
okie dokie. All right, so I wanted to throw this out there, because we do have, a new member. And I know, we've talked about if, we have the ability to be able to meet a little bit earlier, that it would be helpful for us. But just throwing it out there. So, just a discussion on the times. Do we want to still stick with the second Tuesday of the month? Is that something that we want to change? I know you had
Yeah,
a
I've
desire
got 5
to
months
change
of
that.
Tuesday night golf leagues. It doesn't, and it doesn't interfere obviously all the time, but it is
Right.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I've had,
And we have golf for adult recess now coming up in January, so.
Yeah.
so, I'm scrambling, second Tuesday, but that's, I don't want to make a decision for me,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
everybody else, so, but.
So just up for discussion as well. So I gotta grab water.
Yeah.
It's not till April.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy to move it.
What are the typical meeting that you do? I guess we don't know the schedule of all like the board meetings and when they meet. Not that this is gonna be huge conflicts between,
right, select board meets on Monday, that's. the
that's
one.
it, yeah.
That's really, I think, the only.
Yeah.
Does Dave have any insight?
Oh.
I'm fine, even moving it up to 6:30 or something, and then whatever day works for folks.
Earlier. Fine, too.
Yeah, I can get earlier.
Um. Wednesdays work for, Wednesdays are not gonna work. Thursdays,
We have to think about ski club coming up, so let's
I was
not.
just about to say that, Kate, thank you.
Thursdays or
Tuesdays,
Wednesdays.
Thursdays.
Wednesdays, we almost have 100 kids this year.
How about sticking with the Tuesdays, like a Tuesdays until
Okay.
winter is over and then you need to switch it.
You can make an adjustment or.
Yeah, that's good.
So we can figure it out.
I think it's-
6, yes, if we can do 6:30, that'd be good.
6:30, that's what,
Yeah.
okay,
6:30 Tuesdays for now.
Yep.
right,
Adjust in spring.
okay.
Nice.
Stick on the hockey.
Just with the time change.
What's that?
Just with the time
There you go.
change.
Yeah.
So will that be effective for December then, 6:30?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it will,
Why on that topic?
yes,
Because they didn't put it on there.
I did, but it's
It
like,
did not show up.
it didn't show up, yeah.
I was just gonna propose that we move the December meeting to like December 3rd or 6th to get out of
It would be the 6th for that Tuesday, yeah.
move it up a week rather than,
Oh, then be in the holiday season.
if everybody's okay with that.
In there.
Yeah.
It would also get us through the 2 weeks, which would then, if our candidates become, it makes it a realistic possibility for you guys to approve that and get them hired for the January 1st.
Yep.
Whereas if we drug that extra week with the Christmas holiday, that wouldn't be achievable.
Yeah.
If everybody would be amenable to that, that would be helpful to many things.
Tuesday the fifth?
Is that the 5th? Yeah,
Definitely would.
the December Tuesday, first December Tuesday.
The first December Tuesday is the 5th. That is correct.
Awesome.
And then we
Thank
will,
you.
since
Cheer,
we're
thank
starting
you.
earlier, we will have a half an hour trivia team practice for your trivia team that you're entering into the. Kate, you want to be captain, or we can make Peter captain, but
One of the categories.
I'm no
Yeah,
good
well,
at trivia,
I'm
but
all
that
for it.
sounds like fun.
All right. So this was one, this was met in October, but we're here, so we might as well, finish this out. But so typically the last like 5 years, we have closed the office the day after Thanksgiving and given the staff the opportunity to, they could work if they wanted to, or they could take paid time off. The select board has voted to close town hall on Friday, on that Friday following Thanksgiving, and they're giving this time as a bonus holiday for staff paid out of the general fund. So that would be Tim and myself. The rest of our staff is paid out of our revolving. So, it's kind of like a multifold question here of, do we close the office on the day following Thanksgiving? And then if we do that, are we just allowing the staff the choice to take paid time off? Or are we going to allow them to, that we would pay them as this bonus holiday like the town did, out of the revolving?
I think given all the Saturdays, Sundays, nights, mornings, weekends, every day, that
Yeah,
the day off and on, the town's whatever on the,
On the
paid.
PR
time off.
It's our
Out of the
revolving,
revolving
yeah.
fund and out of the general fund is, that's, I think warranted. So I will make a motion. Or I need to make a motion. I don't know, is there any discussion?
Well, that's the,
So I will make a motion to close Park and Rec on the Friday after Thanksgiving and give this time as a bonus holiday for staff.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Kevin,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
and I'm a yes.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I know they will be very thankful and appreciative of the recognition of the insane amount of time that they put in, because
Yeah.
they do.
We'll just need you this Saturday. No.
September 3rd.
Oh, man. Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. And this was just an old business that had popped up recently. So, Kate, we can check in about this later, but, we would, see if we would request that we can get you and Jen back together again. So that we can discuss, some issues that have popped up with the school scheduling. So if you are amenable to that, we would definitely like to do that sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely. Is that regarding the change in times, things getting out later?
No,
Camp T, we
Camp
gotta
T.
set it for the brochure.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
So I'll, if you're around tomorrow, I'll give you a call and we can discuss that a little bit more.
Yeah. Give me a call. Definitely. I think tomorrow afternoon might be better. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Great. Okay. And we already talked about this, so, I can work with you and draft a memo, requesting that we have a joint meeting with Select Board, FinCom, and Open Space and Recreation Planning Committee, to go through the final results of that statistically valid survey. So that's the last piece of the contract with ECT that, EPC, oh my goodness, that Robert has to fulfill. So there's that. And with that, my friends, our beautiful adult recess. So Kaz has put a lot of thought and love into this new program called Adult Recess. So we have childcare for parents, and then the parents get to go and play recess games. So the kids have a blast, the parents have a blast. It's been a really great success, and hopefully we'll continue that on going into the winter season. Yeah. So good on Kaz. He did a great job.
Where is that?
That is at the tavern,
Oh,
at the point. So that evening, I think they did cornhole, right?
That was cornhole night.
Yeah. So they switched up every week. Like the very first week we did kickball on Alumni Field. They've done softball, flag football, dodgeball, there's some great videos from dodgeball. And cornhole. So every week you get to do a different fun old like PE activity. Yeah. So there you go. All right.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I'll second that.
Kate,
Kate,
Yes.
you did it.
Scott,
Yes.
Peter,
yes.
Kevin.
Yes.
I mean, yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
Everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
Kate.
Bye, Kate.